Hello, welcome to another Toku Ramblings. Let me just move on. Don't people have anything better to do? If there's a tier list you want to watch, something, anything. No. Okay. Let's get this over with. So, yes, Kamen Rider Taisen. Featuring during the Dying Toku spring cross over. I think it's spring. I know next year was summer, but I guess I can be a bit positive. This is actually the Toku Gun crossover is okay, all things considered. It's nothing groundbreaking, but I can say it's a lot better than next year's the Ninja Drive crossover. And I think it comes down to the fact that, unlike that one, it feels like everyone has some kind of role to play here. There are obvious caveats. It's like Takatora and to an extent Kaito don't do much here, and I still really cannot remember Toku Younger. I'm gonna save my life. He plays a Gundama. I'm still sorry when I see Tokujo. I might have more to say here, but it's a decently fine cross. So it just sees the cast interacting with one. Never, yes, Right has more prominence, but stuff like Mio and Kaguru just hanging out with Mai for a bit, and then the stuff with Michi, and with Tokatun, and Hikari, is, stuff that feels like they're hanging. Yeah, again, if this was just a special of them just hanging out, and then more or less having to deal with a threat in the form of Badon, it wouldn't be bad. Its issue is more along the lines of just, it goes on for way too long. Because the first plot ends about the half-hour mark, and then we get a second plot involving a rescue with Mai, because Coke decides to have her aboard the Tokujo's train to leave Zawami, which, kind of a dick move situation. Situation's getting worse, but, let's see here. I do like, though, Takatora's small cameo when the Tokujos are fighting a large monster outside, and more or less he's on the phone with someone regarding. What do you mean there's a large monster outside? And a giant robot. Stop being stupid. That stuff just doesn't happen. It's a legitimately funny moment, especially considering what kind of character he is, and more or less the fact that, by comparison's sakes, the stuff he's dealing with can be considered just as insane. But, yeah. This is perfectly fine. It's serviceable. But it's enjoyable seeing both casts mostly interacting with one another, even if it's not the entirety of them. It's okay. It's perfectly fine. I'm more or less saving the big Band-Aid ripoff because we're about to get to the actual terrible stuff. So Kamen Rider Taisen, if you don't speak Japanese, is specifically about a rider war. Because, yeah. Now, right. So Kamen Rider Taisen was less chosen because, well, Showa had 15 writers now, and Heisei had 15 writers. even though more or less show didn't have 15 shows, they had Kamen Rider Nego, Rider Man, and then the trilogy of 90s. Anyway, so the film starts with them, fighting, beating another before Kota looks at what is happening and prepares for combat. So why has it started? Well, the film cuts back to an earlier time to show Kota and Mai investigating rumors of Universal workers going missing, which leads the two to fall into a reverse version of their city, where they run into a young boy by the name of Shu. As they're escorting him out, they run into Takeshi Hongo, the original Kamen Rider, who's being rather pushy and demands they hand Shu over to him. Before they can come, it's the Badan Empire up, also demanding Shu for themselves. Takeshi transforms and tells them to head out. But Badan is also attacking the servers, and it turns out they also have a rider of their own, who's using a Sengoku driver and a lock seat that is just the faces of all 15 Heisei riders up to this point. Where did he get these? Did Ryoma make these for Badan just because he thought it was interesting? Yeah, I don't know. They'll never more or less have to go into how he got this stuff. Anywho, after more less the fighting getting away from Badan, Kota, Mai, and Shu meet with Tsukasa, who explains about Badan, and more or less they had to gather the Heisei Riders to fight against the Showa Riders because the Showa Riders are assholes. Look, there's no getting around it. In this film, the Showa Riders are shown to be complete jerks who more or less listen to no reason and just fight because of a stupid reason we'll get to later, and that's the plot. Out of the opening stuff, we do the standard Taisen thing of dumping the main heroes to focus on other returning characters, in this case Tsukasa, as he goes around trying to recruit other riders to his cause of fighting the other show riders. And I say recruit, but all he does is we're shown him recruiting fives and double, and meandering around for about maybe 45 minutes, an hour until we get back to that opening statement. And again, going back to it, this film does not do any good characterization of really anyone here. I've already mentioned the show where just coming off as a bunch of old jerks. Meanwhile, the Heisei Riders, well, the two that explicitly show up sans a singular. Shotaro seems more interested in finding cats and the potential world-ending thing, which, yeah, great, nice to know that when the world's in trouble, he's doing that. And then there's Vice. Now I will state that I really wasn't fond of Vice, which I know I was gonna get me crucified by some people, but this portion, but Vice does more or less give some initial intrigue into why he's so unwilling, especially if you know what goes on his show. You'd more or less think he'd have some good reasons. The trauma, maybe the danger of more or less fading away if he found some way to stabilize himself. So why is he so against becoming a Kamen Rider again? Retcons. Yeah, they retcon it to now him being there when Masato dies because he's also fighting alongside him. And Masato's final words to him are more or less, how could he die when he's so... The person who's not dying is so... hollow. So why more or less do this? But the thing is, look, Masato was a horrible human being, being like, yes, Takami was indeed saddened by his death, but keep in mind, the two of them did not like one another. And in the show, his death was meant to be satisfying because he was a dick that you loved to hate, and when he died, it was the greatest thing ever. Here, it just feels almost hollow that this is the reason why he's not transforming. Not trauma, not stuff that we learn about in next year's cross over. It's just, yeah, and the whole Fi's portion when we're focusing on him just feels like filler. He travels around, meets up with Kamen Rider X and the girl, and I will give this movie like 1, maybe a little later on, 2 points. X and Fi's interactions are actually really nice. You know, him giving encouragement, and the stuff with him in the restaurant is actually, you know, what I would expect. You know, an older generation giving the next generation some insight, some speeches about what to do. It's completely undermined when X transforms and just beats up on Fives when he's not wanting to fight at all because... we'll get to that. I've been all over the place, but let's get back to Bottom. And more specifically, their nifty little Kamen Rider 15 ran out. Right, which I give props that the suit kind of looks like this combination of Shocker Combat. But man, again, I'm annoyed that they really don't explain where he got this stuff and how it really works. But tell me if you've heard this motivation before. A grieving parent who lost their child after a bad last meeting who hopes to reverse the world to bring them back. Wow, a grieving parent. Right, the most original concept for a villain ever. And he also does the "you can't understand my pain" thing. I want to make this one really clear. I'm not downplaying the death of a child. It can be extremely traumatic, especially for the parents who just lost something close. That was something they more or less have spent time raising, caring, and just having a good time with. It's just... when you compare what is going on in this show, and yes, and again, I'm not downplaying the trauma. Whoops. Losing a child. But considering what Kota goes through in the main series, losing a child would more let's be like a 10 to probably Kota's 50 out of 100, 50 out of 10, 50 out of 10. That gate's portion is there, it exists. There's this weird plot about people claiming that he wants to die because, I guess, what he did in the past he still feels really bad about. Narataki just keeps showing up with no purpose whatsoever, but just to let us claim he doesn't like Kato, but he could easily have just been excised from this plot and have changed nothing. I mean, yeah, this seems like a mostly standard Taisen affair of just meandering plot, characters not acting like they used to, things happen, and if it weren't for the show writers acting, this would just be more Taisen. We probably would have just been there for the spring and done nothing wrong. Until we get to the reasoning why the show writers don't like them. Why? Well, because they regret the people they have lost. I might be paraphrasing, but that's kind of the reason I was getting from. And that's it. The reason why Bottom is back is because they have regrets about the past. Look, loss is a major point in writer history. Right? It often starts their journey, and even by the end, they don't get them back. And yes, when it came to the Heisei, especially Phase 2, writers did sort of get stuff back. Shotaro got Philip back, even if he didn't get his mentor back. Gentaro got Kengo back, and even Eiji was searching for a means to get Ankh to come. But these people have seen so much and even have lost things. People lose their lies in the conflict. They're ruin that happens. Fear spread for. But they chose to stand against it because who else was gonna do it? But just the way that the show writers act like this showing of emotions is a sign of weakness. This means they don't count and everything is there. Which would have made a much better impact if, Bottom was like Neo Bottom and made up of a lot of Heisei monsters. But no, it's all Showa monsters. And again, so much of the Showa era is just Shocker reincarnated through most of it. But yeah, congratulations, Kamen Rider Taisen. You took some of the most iconic heroes in Japanese media and made them into a bunch of uncaring jerks. Which faces the question of just, who was the movie made for? If we're talking Showa fans, oh boy, you probably really don't like this movie with how they portrayed them. And Heisei fans, by the gods, if you were a fan of with how he acts in this latter portion, you'd be especially angry about it. Really, the only ones who don't get the boys are Kota, Shota, and Haruto, and both aren't really quintessential. Shotaro has a fight with Black and RX and the Haruto just shows that the slaps him sets of the talk. Be about helping the villains just to revive what dick. Nick, and also, why wasn't Haruto in this? You could get a cameo of him, but it's not like he probably was too busy with other things. It especially would have made for a good comparison contrast thing, since, he was also the fourth rider of an era, X was the fourth main rider, Takumi was fourth. No, they just get a big thing where they all transform together and destroy Bottom's big evil robot that shoots it and trying to flip both worlds. And also we get the standard things happen to move the plot on turns out Kamen Rider Zekro infiltrated, but because Honga instructed him, and a plan that would honestly make Marvelous and Tsukasa look at him with a "What are you thinking? Trying to move in on our 4D chess play?" There's a big group fight where both Daigo, Kyoryu, and the Tokyuders show up to fight the big monster. They're alongside Dena. Guy finishes off 15 with probably the worst looking suit imaginable for a legacy thing, and the film's over, right? Right? I am talking too much. No, it's not over because we have to. Let's do the thing to make the whole you decide the ending thing they carried over from 13 Riders. Does Heisei win or Showa win? And what is the difference? Hongo admits defeat because Gaim protected the flower from an attack, or Kota admits defeat because he realizes Hongo's holding back. They're not all buddy. Movie's over. Thank you for wasting your time. This movie, it's just not good. Legit. Like, Taisen films are never quote-unquote good, but this is just... I feel gross watching. No one here comes off decently. Well, the entire conflict feels forced. Or it doesn't look good. It's just... Ugh, God. Ugh. Don't watch this. Just don't watch it at all. Oh, there's been quote-unquote worse stuff, but this is offensive in so many ways. Ugh, and I still have guidance to watch, and boy, can this Gaim extended material will not end soon enough. Anywho, you know the stuff. Like, comment, subscribe, do all the things, and I'll see you for the guidance.